If you're a laser owner who sells laser SVG files and you're looking to sell even more of them, I highly recommend planning around the holidays. Holiday shoppers buy with urgency, they spend more, they're actively looking for new designs, and if you're just winging it or waiting until the last minute to drop seasonal files, then you're basically leaving money on the table. And this is exactly why I built a system that helps me stay ahead of the holiday trends, plan my design releases, and track my Etsy shop stats. And I do all of this in one simple Notion template. And today I'm going to show you exactly how I use it. Hey friends, if you're new here, I'm Ashley from Made of Embers, and I help laser business owners save time, make more sales, and create designs that actually sell. And a huge part of my strategy is using holidays to boost my shop visibility and sales. Every major and some even minor holidays are a chance to bring in new customers and create products that people are actively searching for. But timing is so important. You can't just drop Christmas designs in December or Mother's Day designs in May and expect big results. You need to have a plan. So in a second, I'll dive into my Notion system and how I use it to stay on top of seasonal trends, and how I use it to track my design workflow, keep track of my ideas, and then how I use it to keep my shop growing without the stress. The way that I plan my laser file releases is by working about 2 to 3 months ahead of each holiday. Big holidays such as Christmas, Mother's Day, Halloween, I usually start designing those about 3 months out. And then for smaller holidays like Valentine's Day or St. Patrick's Day or 4th of July, I'll start those about 1 to 2 months out. 1 month is more for like St. Patrick's Day, the holidays that I personally don't really care for. Otherwise, I stick to about 2 months. Now, planning it this way gives me enough time to make all of my designs, to test them, and then photograph them. And then, of course, to do the part that I enjoy the absolute least, which is listing my files. This does, however, give Etsy's algorithm time to pick up my listings before the rush starts, because let's be real, most people aren't searching for Easter designs in April. They're shopping in February or March, and you've got to be ahead of them. So now I'm going to go ahead and jump on over to my Notion template and show you how I keep all of this organized so that I'm on top of my holiday strategy. I tried to keep this pretty straightforward so that it was easy to use, especially if you're someone who has never used Notion before. I know for myself, I found Notion to be really overwhelming when I first started using it, and I just wanted to try and eliminate that overwhelm and keep it straightforward. So when you first open up this Notion template, you will see a calendar, and I already have holidays for 2025 preloaded in. I don't have all of them, but I have all of the ones that I felt were most popular for e-commerce businesses. So when you look at the calendar, you'll see that I have the different holidays on here. All of the holidays are all black and they have this symbol. And then for the design start dates, they have a gold star to indicate that that's a holiday design start date, and then the release start date is indicated with a green star. And then it has the word release and start in front of it as well. And the way that you can add to this is either by coming to these different views over here, but it's just kind of messy. This is basically just all of the information that is housed to create this calendar. Calendar is the main view on this section, but if you do want to add to it, you can scroll down underneath the calendar. We have this little section here, and there's our holidays and events, our design start dates, and our release, and there's these little arrows. If you click those, they'll open up, and you can see all of the preloaded information that I have for you. And I tried to keep this really simple so that as you add new dates, it will already auto-populate with this icon so that you don't have to manually put it in every time. So if you click new page, we can put in a new holiday, let's say Mardi Gras, one I don't have on here. I don't actually know when it is, but we'll just select a random day. We'll say it's February 17th. I know that's not right, but just for the sake of this example. And then the design start date, when you click new page, it automatically populates with the word start so that you don't have to type that in. You can just start typing. And then again, select your date. So let's just go to January 1st. I know that's typically not enough time to design for holiday, but again, just for the sake of this example. And then new page. And again, you can start typing because the word release is already populated. Now, if for some reason you want to change the settings that I already have here, if you come up to this new button and click the arrow, these are the different templates that I have, and you can change what icon is used for all of these and make whatever tweaks and changes you want. And you would just do that by clicking the three dots and going to edit. And then you would just click on this icon and you can select from the many icons that they have already here or emojis, or you can upload your own. And when you click an icon, you have options for different colors. So pretty easy and straightforward if you want to make those changes. Okay, and then if you want these to go away, just toggle those closed and then they will be out of your way. This next section is your SVG file ideas. You know, if you felt inspired by something that you saw on Pinterest or Instagram, then you could quickly jot this down in the section of your template at either your computer or on their app. The app is great and super easy to use and makes it really easy to add on to your idea list here. And then you can keep track of the status and when you want to start working on those designs. If it goes with a holiday, you can make any notes that you want about that particular idea that you have. So if there's something very specific to that design, then you don't forget whatever it is that you want to make a note of. And then I also like to create a inspo collage in Canva. This is something you do not have to do, but I have this section here if you want to add an image. So for example, this Easter one, I just made really quick in Canva of some screenshots that I didn't want to just get lost on my phone, and I just turned it into a Canva collage and uploaded it into my Notion template. You can also link your Pinterest board as well. And then this area over here, I like to work with AI to collect art for my collections. So if you hover over this check mark, it says art collected ? And this is just a way for me to track whether or not I've already done that step of my design workflow. So I would check this if I already collected the art for my Easter collection, for example, which I actually did. And so I do need to check this anyways. And this doesn't do anything special. It's just an indicator for me that I've already done that. Now this is in progress, but when you add something new, it's going to auto-populate as an idea first, and then you can just manually come in and change it to in progress or done. You can set a date. I like to select the start date, which is the same date as this section here. So if you need to refresh your memory on what the design start date is that you selected, you can just toggle that, look there and select it, and then toggle it back again. And then you can select the different holidays or events. And if you want to add something new that's not already here, you can just start typing and then click enter, and it will get added to the bottom, and you can select these 6 dots and move it around. You can also select the 3 dots and either delete it or select a different color. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that because I don't need that in mine. And then you just click new page and you can type in the holiday that you have inspiration for, or it doesn't even have to be a holiday. It can be like a specific item if you want, like Halloween countdown sign. You could do something like that. You know, this is your template. You can get as specific as you want. And then when you're done with something, when you click into status and click done, you notice it disappears. It goes into the completed section. And you can also check and see like what files you have in progress. But the reason that I like to have it set up that way is so that your list doesn't continue to get longer and longer and longer. But if you still want to refer back to anything that you've already finished, then you can easily go to completed and look at those. Like if you're wanting to remember what you did last Easter, for example, then you could just come to the completed section and look at the history that you have there. And then in progress, and it should populate. Yep, it's right back there. Or I can go to in progress and see which ones I'm currently working on. And then in this little section here, another toggle, I just have some different ideas that maybe like I'm not totally sure what I want to do for a growth chart, for example, but I know I like the idea of growth charts. Then I just have this idea bank basically where I put more general ideas here, and then I can get more specific up here for my SVG file ideas when I'm actually ready to work on a growth chart. And then the very last section here is your end of month Etsy stat tracker for 2025. When 2025 is over, you will have to manually change this to 2026. But for now, I have it set up with each month for 2025, has their own section. And since I'm an SVG seller, I like to keep track of how many listings I have because my goal is to get as many listings in my shop as possible. So the way that I have it set up is at the end of every month, you'll go through and fill out each section. At the end of the month, I had 156 listings in my shop. I had 132 orders. This is how much I made. I ran Etsy ads. This one you can select multiple. So if you didn't run Etsy ads, you can select no and just leave it at that. Or you can select yes if you did run Etsy ads, and you can select the amount per day that you had it set at. Again, you can add. So if you're like, well, I did more than 10, then you can just type in 20 a day, click enter. And then I like to keep these all the same color and then have these be different. But I'm just at 3. I'm not at 20 yet. So I'm just going to keep it at that. And then I put on here, you know, if I ran any sales, what it was for, what the percentage was. You don't have to do this. This was just something that I wanted to keep track of so I could see how often I was running sales and at what discounts. And then at the end of the month, I like to go through and see what was my best seller for the month. And then by the end of the year, I'll have a record where I can hopefully catch on to some patterns and see what my customers are really enjoying. And then I can go into 2026 with some fresh ideas and a much clearer strategy on the type of products I should be putting my time and energy into. And then just some general notes. This can be whatever you want. And then as the year goes on, it will calculate everything for you. So if by the end of February, I have 200 listings, then it will show me that I have increased my listing count by 44 so far for the year. And then if in March I have 223 listings, then I can see that I have increased my listing count by 67. And then same with orders. This will just be a sum total. Same thing for revenue. And then I don't have anything for these, but this is just going to be really helpful and kind of fun to keep track of stats this way. If you're anything like me, I don't necessarily love going into Etsy and looking at these things because there's so many different stats and it's a little overwhelming. So just focusing on the ones that are most important to me just makes it really, really easy for me to stay on top of things. The best part of this all is you do not have to design this from scratch. I have made it for you and you can get it in the listing description below. Okay, now I've put this exact Notion template up for free so you can grab it today and start using it in your business right away. It's a simple template, but I have found it to be very effective in my designing and planning workflow. So you can grab my Notion template at the link in the description below. It's designed specifically for laser business owners, whether you sell physical products or digital products, so that you can track your designs and your holiday strategy and your shop growth all in one place. I hope this gives you some ideas for how you can plan your designs more strategically and hopefully get more sales in your shop. And if you found this helpful, I'd love to hear from you in the comments about what your favorite holiday to design for is. Mine is Christmas and Mother's Day, but I'd love to hear yours. And if you want more tips on growing your laser business, make sure to subscribe because I've got more videos coming your way soon. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.